I just realized that I spent a year of my life on Instagram. I wish that was clickbait. I wish it was a joke. I recently did some calculations, sort of for fun, sort of as a joke, and realized that legitimately, at least a year of my life has probably been spent scrolling on social media. And before I dive any further into this conversation, if you're curious how I got this calculation, I was thinking that I've had Instagram since about 2014. Maybe back then we didn't spend as much time on it as we do today, but overall, I was probably on the app almost every single day, which even just that alone sounds crazy. And then I was thinking, okay, well, how long was I probably on the app? At first, maybe not 2 hours a day, but more recently in the last couple of years, I don't think saying 2 hours on social media is all that crazy. So this is how I did the calculation. 2014 to 2026, that's 12 years. I took 2 hours times 365 days, and that's 730 hours in 1 year. Then I multiplied that by 12 years and got 8,760 hours. And then I divided that by 24 hours in a day and got 365 days. Not just when the sun was out, the entire day. Frankly, this stat, more than anything else in my life lately, shook me to my core. Because again, let's say it's Instagram. Let's say it's social media at large. I'll give it a little bit more of an umbrella. If I spent a full year, a complete year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on social media, how much time have I wasted? How much time have we wasted? Endlessly scrolling and endlessly learning but not quite learning, or seeing but not actually doing. I mean, were humans even designed to consume this much information or know about this many things going on in the world and still feeling like there's not much you can do about it? I mean, I just, there's so many questions that this has provoked in me. That's part of this channel. And if you're wondering where we're at, why we're here, this is my house. I'm sitting in my office. Sometimes, like I said, there's just going to be personal conversations that I have directly to you guys. Other times, especially on Saturdays, they're going to be the deep dives. And then Wednesdays, they're going to be different conversations that we have just right here, or extended cuts of interviews or different things like that. So Saturdays, the big episodes. Wednesdays, we're going to have just kind of conversations and different things happening here. So all that to say, we started this channel talking about addiction. And when I did this little calculation, I realized I have a severe addiction, whether it's to my phone at large, to Instagram, to Pinterest, to Facebook Marketplace, I don't know, to any app that I use a lot of. What do we do about that? And frankly, what is that doing to us? Because there's no way it's not doing anything. When I was thinking about this, I was also thinking about what was that one documentary that we all watched, either in 2020, 2021. I think it was called, it came out 2020, The Social Dilemma. That documentary wrecked me for like a week. It could have wrecked me for much longer. It could have affected my habits and my activity levels and all of that for a lot longer, but literally it affected me for a week. And it, I think, affected a lot of us, even though I think a lot of us also forgot, because that was 2020. And now we're 6 years later and we still have the apps. We still have this thing that basically controls our life. What do we do about it? Now, over the coming weeks and months, I'm going to try some different experiments personally, because this is something that is bothering me and I want to see what I can do about it. And maybe the more I learn, the more off-put I will be towards this device. But at the same time, this is also my lifeline for work. And I know that for most people, it probably is, whether it's for communication purposes, for research, all of the above. So what do we do about it? It's just infuriating to me because I know that I'm being duped. I know that I'm being used. I know that AI is watching my activity, and that is making it even more addictive and more just all-consuming. And yet, I keep consuming. I just wanted to start with this conversation because I know that this is a problem that many people share. There are a lot of different things we can try to do about it. And so I wanted to bring you guys on this journey as I unpack what I'm going to do about this. Again, the more I learn, hopefully the more my habits will change. But I cannot fathom, again, 365 days of my life. It physically gives me chills. And I was thinking too, okay, what else could I have done for that duration of time? And had I put that type of energy into anything else, where would I be today, right? If it was a sport or an activity, I could probably go run a marathon. I'm not a runner, okay, at all. I could have been if I spent the time that I spent on my phone running or walking. Or what about reading? I complain that I can't find the time in the day to read my Bible as much as I would like. That I look to other people who can recite verses and just know their Bibles inside and out. And I love and respect that so much. And frankly, to be honest, I envy that because I want to be like that. I could be if I even spent half the amount of time that I literally spent on a phone. But I want to find a solution to this because I know that at this point, we are over a decade in to this addiction for many of us. There has to be a way out. There has to be a solution. So one of my many deep dives on this channel is going to be about this. I'm going to figure out what to do about the fact that I freaking spend way too much time on my phone. And that's what we're going to be doing on this channel with a lot of other things. Again, this is sort of like if you envision a train of thought. Any random thoughts that pop into my head, any questions or conversations I want to have, we're going to just have them on this channel. And sometimes they'll be like this, really stripped down, and sometimes they'll be super advanced, highly edited videos. Just depends on the day, depends on the topic. So if there are any stories that you guys see that you just don't think are getting a lot of attention and should, please send them my way, whether that's via email, whether that's on Instagram. Right now, we'll figure it out. But also, if there are stories that maybe are just good news and you think those should be amplified as well, please send them my way. Because we're going to be getting into a lot of different nooks and crannies of the internet on this channel. I'll warn you in advance, it's not all going to be pleasant and happy. A lot of the questions and conversations I have, especially around things with children and fears, I'm going to get into those. But I also want to make sure to level that out with some lightness. So more to come in the near future. I'm really excited for this Saturday's episode, this conversation we have about education. It is very interesting. And all of that will be happening here. We're going to continue to dive in. Thank you for joining me on this first conversation, one of many, where I just dump my thoughts to you guys. And let's deep dive until we understand more about culture and the world. I'll see you guys next time.